Here is Goliath with his new look without the wings, and we are going to try to be dealing with the biggest problem that most people has when we start using the Keys looms. That is how to deal with the pins and with the fabric not flowing down. I had made a few rows in here, and now it's time to pull down, and I have one place where I can feel tension. If I look inside the loom, I can see that one pin is not free. There is yarn that had got caught in front of the pin. So with the pick, I take it and I pull it behind. And then I can pull the fabric down. That is the biggest problem with using the Keys and getting used to it. Now we're going to try to find out why that happens. I had put 2 strands of yarn to use as one to try to demonstrate how sometimes the yarn splits, like there. One strand is behind the pin and the other strand is on the front. So I continue wrapping and knitting off, and if I don't see that that yarn has been split, after a few rows the fabric is not going to flow down in that place, and then I'm going to have to do what I did before of getting it with the pick when it's way down there. If I see it as I'm working, I can just take the piece that is on the front and pull it behind the pin. Another reason that I find out that I'm not sure if it's very common, but I get myself doing it many times, is that when I knit off, I go fast, I pull too high, and I pull to the side, and then the stitch that is supposed to go on the front wraps around the pin. Again, now that I know I do that and I watch for it, right after I knit that stitch, I can pull that loop that is behind the pin and move it to the front and just leave it alone. Another thing that I do is when I'm knitting is that I place my finger right on the pin as I do it. That usually helps me to feel that the yarn is behind there, and I know that I'm doing the right thing of going front, behind, front, behind. Another problem that sometimes happens is that we just don't go behind the pin, we just skip the pin and wrap everything on the front. With Goliath it's a little bit hard to do that because he is so oversized that it's fairly easy to see right when you are wrapping that you went across 2 pegs, and also you have a lot more tension to knit off those stitches, so most likely you will realize it. But with a regular gauge loom it's fairly easy to make that mistake. So when you have something like that that is kind of hard to pull the stitches and hold them, you can use these oversized safety pins, and you pull the stitch, leave it there, you pull the other one, now you lift them up, go behind the pin, and now you can put the stitch back on the pegs. Again, with Goliath this is a little bit hard to do because the distance between the peg and the pin is pretty big, and the size of the pegs are also pretty big. Those are the most common reasons why we have yarn that is in front of the pins, and then we have the problem that the fabric won't flow down. Now we can go back here, and this one was the one that was cut way at the beginning, so we have a loop there. What we need to do is we stretch the fabric so the loop goes to be the size that it should have been.